Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town, yeah.
It's the Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation.
Welcome to the Profanity Nation podcast, where we are the voice of the professional fan. Thank you for joining us. We're here every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. We bring it to you fresh and we bring it to you hard. Here we go. All right, every week, here we go. My co-host, Money Mike. How you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm good, but, I'm excited about today because we're going to have a full-blown
a full-blown venting session, we're going to say.
Venting session.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're going to call it.
Yeah, I think everybody's...
It's going to be an out-of-bounds
a whole session of out-of-bounds.
Hour.
A whole segment. And, of course, my guy, Stat Pat. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm good, dude, but I'm with Mike right now. It's we got to try to get some stuff out of our checks because, as we are in the middle, or not even in the middle, I think we're like on the other side of it now. The season.
It's over.
Yeah.
Hope is gone.
We're on the downhill.
Hope is gone.
We're on the downhill, guys.
Downhill, so it's like, kind of like not happy about that, but yeah. We're gonna talk about it.
So, of course, what we're talking about here is we're talking about the state of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Again.
The state of the Los Angeles Lakers are not great. And after the All-Star break, rumors came out in regards to LeBron James and Clutch Sports, and it's just not looking any better. Now, LeBron did go in his press conference and say that he wishes nobody would listen to Bill Oram, but he was kind of joking about that.
I don't understand that.
Well, because Bill Orm's the
that
one who
doesn't make
said,
any sense.
yeah, he doesn't want people to believe Bill, but it is the truth.
Wait a minute. Do we not believe him? Do we not? I mean, this dude literally. Look, it's like you ask your kids how are your parents, and they talk about, oh, my friend Samantha, mom and dad are great.
Yep.
Right, like.
It's like omission by omission, right?
Right.
So essentially,
like you said that, dog.
If you didn't hear about it, essentially it was LeBron leading to the fact and already thinking about his playing days beyond the Lakers. And of course, Laker fans don't like that. They don't like to see that because you feel like he's already 1 foot out the door. He's already planning his escape. And when the Lakers are playing as bad as they are, it's not a good look. Now, Money Mike, you've always been at least honest in regards to your feelings with LeBron James and how you felt about him and his true Lakerness, or however we want to call it.
But let's the first thing we gotta do is we gotta get this update about Anthony Davis, about how he's not gonna be there, and confirm that with Marco.
All right, let's bring him in. As usual, we start this show with Marco Nunez. Let's bring Marco on the board. How you doing, Marco?
Doing well. How you guys doing today?
Marco.
Yes, sir.
And hey, glad to see you again. Just want to confirm that AD is out for the season. Let's go ahead and get this out the way.
Make it official. Yeah, I think that's something that we discussed last week about, the pros and the cons as far as him either continuing the season, returning the season, or just kind of calling it quits and see what happens for the next season. At the end of the day, it was going to come down to is where the Lakers stand in the playoff hunt. If they're going to be in the play-in bracket, or they're either going to hopefully slide into the 8th spot or the 7th spot, or anything that sort. I think that's going to be the big determining factor. That's going to be what they refer to as the point of no return, so to speak. There's going to be a point in the next couple of days or weeks as he's returning that it's going to be like, you know what, it's not worth for him to come back, and they're going to shut him down for the rest of the season. But it all depends on where the Lakers stand. Yeah,
but the reports are, that they reevaluated him, and they know it at least going to be 4 to 5 weeks. So,
Correct. So
which
pushes us
like
up.
middle of April, almost.
Right?
Which is already post-season.
Pretty much,
point.
yeah. So it's out for the season. I mean, the thing about that's so. I guess Marco, what we want to actually know is like when we can do the simple math and count the weeks and then get to the point where it's like basically the end of the season. Why can't we get a regular straight shooter kind of diagnosis saying that Anthony Davis is out for the season? Or I mean, and I do understand where you're coming from, because I did hear what you were saying based upon standings and everything like that. However, how good is Anthony Davis even going to be if he comes back at that time? We saw this picture
Perfect
last
question.
year.
How long does it take to get back into game shape? we know it takes a while when you haven't played, but coming off of this injury, Marco, how long does it take?
Correct. So you're
For a
looking
normal
at-
person, not Anthony Davis, because we know we're gonna get hurt again anyway. So,
Hopefully.
so we're let's just generalize it to every other player.
correct. So if we're looking at it, what he sprained his ankle what about a week ago or almost 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking at
That's
a minimum 4 weeks, minimum. And I'm talking about that. If everything goes according to plan, everything's great. He'll be back in 4 weeks. But like you said, even then, it's not going to be back 4 weeks. It's not going to be in game shape, so to speak. So you're looking anywhere between the 6 to 8 week mark. So you're looking about a 2-month process. So if you did it 2 weeks ago in February, there's 4 weeks in March. You got two in February, that's 6, and you're looking 2 weeks into April. So you're looking at about the 8 week mark. So if everything goes according to plan, no setbacks, no issues whatsoever, there is a chance that he could potentially come back somewhere in April, maybe get a week of play, get his legs under him, and be ready for the play-in or for the playoffs. Now, that's if everything goes according to plan. Now, because there is that possibility, that's why they haven't officially ruled him out. Now, let's say if he entered it this week, odds are they probably would have ruled him out because he's within that 6 week mark. So there's a small chance, but it's very small.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about somebody who will play. And we can talk about the playoffs because there's still going to be basketball going on. Kevin Durant, he sprained his MCL. I think around the 15th of January. They're saying they're optimistic that they will have him back within a week or so. Progress is pretty good. A sprained MCL is not really that bad once it heals.
Correct.
He has no risk of tearing or anything like that.
Correct. So they're probably for him. They're probably be a little more cautious. They want him getting back as healthy as possible and try to make a playoff run. So they're more looking towards a playoff. So could he come back a little bit sooner? Possibly. But they're trying to get him as healthy as possible, and more importantly, reduce his risk of re-injury, either the MCL or more importantly, re-injuring anything else. That's one of the issues that I think AD has had this whole season, is he injures the side, he comes back, and then he has referred to as a second injury from a compensatory pattern. He injures something else, then he injures something else. So I think in this case, the Brooklyn Nets are kind of making sure, hey, you know what, we want Kevin KD to come back at close to 100%. So we wouldn't have any issues. So going into the rest of the season and going into the playoffs, more importantly.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Because you know what? I'm kind of looking forward to the East Coast matchup because I'm going to tell you, man, that Harden and Embiid,
when they go up against the Nets.
Yeah, I really want to see that full strength because, KD kind of directed that trade just like our guy over here, so we'll figure out who's a better GM.
Right? Is it KD or LeBron?
Yeah, who's a better player?
Well,
GM?
if it's any indication of how he picks teams during the All-Star break,
right?
Well, he's undefeated that way.
I mean, LeBron is,
but he has to pick the top 75. Like if you don't have the top 75, anyway, we're gonna get it.
Marco, Marco, I have a quick question for you. Sure. And I'm not sure, how much you know or don't know about this, but years past, I remember when Steve Nash was playing for the Suns, and the Suns got a lot of credit for their medical staff and keeping him playing and so forth. How different are athletic trainees, medical staffs from team to team? Can it vary that great? I mean, I know obviously you have people like yourself who are skilled and someone else who maybe not as skilled, but I would think you have to at least be somewhere, up above the cream of the crop to even get in there. So how much could it really vary from team to team? Aren't they all working with top of the line everything?
They are working with the top. Well, here's the thing about it is that every team completely varies as far as their staff, who they hire, and whatnot. I think the only thing that's required by the NBA is you have to have at least 2 athletic trainers on staff. You don't have to have a physical therapist. You don't have to have a dietitian. That's not a requirement. Strength and conditioning, performance, sports psychologist, acupuncturist, chiropractor, all that stuff completely varies from team to team. It's up to the team what they want to utilize, who they want to hire. Second, also the type of equipment, supplies, modalities, treatments, cryo chambers, whirlpools, bath pots, hyperbaric chambers, all that stuff is dependent on the team if they want to invest into their players and be able to put some of the money into that. So that there's no minimum standard every team has to have this. It's completely dependent on the team, the owners, the management, if they want to purchase all this stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. And I would like to add to that, Marco. So, but all things being equal, so say we all have the same equipment and stuff to evaluate players' injuries. What about the skill level of the staff in and of itself? does that factor in a play when it comes to getting guys on the mend versus making them come back sooner than normal? Like Jeff was saying beforehand, it was weird when you saw some people go to one place and they have chronic injuries, and then they go to another place and all of a sudden it's miraculously healed. So maybe their body gotten better over the treatment that they were getting, and then the other team reaped the benefits of that, or it was just they didn't know what the hell they were doing. Somebody else kind of like
Marco. Before you answer that, in Lakers defense, nobody can help AD. So go ahead now.
That is nobody's fault, but
right,
just
Mother Nature. Two teams, and
right,
like can't get right.
So even in themselves, let's say you do have a head athletic trainer and you have a head physical therapist on the part. Even the certifications, the experience that those physical therapists, those head athletic trainers have varies from team to team. Not all athletic trainers, not all physical therapists kind of are created equal or the same, so to speak. It just depends on how many certifications, how much experience, how many licenses they kind of have under their belt, type of thing. Then you also have some players happen to be injury prone, and no matter what you do, they just kind of happen to find their way to the treatment table in the training room every single year. It's one of those things, type of thing that happens. But what?
Every day.
Sorry, Marco. Go ahead.
Yeah.
When we were talking about bringing AD back for the playoffs, my first thought was so he can get hurt.
That would happen last year, though.
Yeah, it's just like the first thing that I thought of. So it's unfortunate. It really is. Marco, thank you so much for joining us. As always, you always have the best information for us. Can you please let everybody know how they can keep up with what you've got going on?
Yeah, if you guys are interested, please follow me on Instagram at Marco A. Nunez 17. I put up weekly sports medicine tips, or subscribe to my YouTube channel at Evolve Athletic Performance.
Thank you so much, Marco.
You,
we
Marco.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Appreciate you, man. See you next week.
All right, perfect. So I think you're right. AD's out for the season. Okay, now for the regular season, but he's not going to step up and all of a sudden come back and be. First of all, he hasn't been bubble AD this whole year. So he's going to come back from injury now
and become bubble AD. No,
and become bubble AD in
not.
Time for the playoffs. It's not going to happen, right?
Not going to happen.
So we need to just say that ship has sailed, which also means our playoff hopes have sailed. But I think we've all accepted that.
I think we should have tried to accept that at Christmas. I mean, that to me, that was the barometer. Like, get to Christmas, reevaluate at Christmas. So we've done that before.
Mm-hmm. We kept pushing the bar.
I could have swore we did that in, I think, 2002 with Shaq and Kobe, the third championship. I think we were like something around like 19 and 11, something like this. Just for a champion and going for a three-peat, you would think they would come out the gates a lot more, a lot fresher than what they did. And they got to Christmas, and it looked like they flipped the switch.
Yep.
And they
put it together.
And they put it on. We're now past Christmas. We're now in February going into March, and it's the same mediocrity that they've been putting out week in and week out. So we have enough of a sample size to make an educated guess to be like, yo, this is what we are. This is who we are.
Absolutely.
And
it's
so
not changing.
It's not going to change anytime soon.
Here's the scary part, Money Mike. It's not changing next season either, because these are our superstars. Now, there are rumors. People are finally starting to hop on board a little bit, and they're talking about maybe it's time to trade AD. Now, if they were to trade AD, there are rumors out there, the stories that there's only really one location that AD would probably go to or accept a trade to, and that would actually maybe make a deal. And you might like this, my man, because that location would be the Chicago Bulls.
It has to be Chicago.
The Chicago Bulls would be the only location that they believe that would play ball with the Lakers on a trade for Anthony Davis. And we could get some good players back, including our own players. We can get Lonzo and Alex Caruso back and clear up some of the mistakes we've made. I don't know.
I have a question.
Please.
Is LeBron still going to be on the team?
Yeah, LeBron's still on the team. Yeah, LeBron's not going anywhere unless LeBron wants to go anywhere. So LeBron's not going anywhere, my friend. And the question is LeBron, they're talking about that LeBron has a stranglehold on the Lakers organization. But then on the other story, they're talking about this is the first time LeBron hasn't been able to get a stranglehold on an organization, and he doesn't know how to control.
Look,
I don't believe anyone has a stranglehold. Genie Buss is still in control. But seriously, what exactly would we do overnight that's going to trade either of these guys that's going to net a world of difference and get us in the playoffs right away?
Oh,
Nothing.
Look. Can I just go on my rant, man? Look,
Yes.
And I promise after this show, I won't say anything else about LeBron.
You can do
The
it.
lie
man.
determined that was a lie.
So,
Yeah.
well, because I've been really, really, really thinking about this, man. And Pat, I just need you to help me out. Like,
I got you.
Like if me and my wife go out to dinner, man, and we find a really nice restaurant, right?
Famous Mike. We
We
need
find-
like entering music for his
find,
analogies.
and we
Mike's
have
analogies.
they're not advertising for us or whatever, but like if we want to go and have a real nice dinner, we go to Maestro's, right? And Maestro's is great. Maestro's,
See?
whatever. It's great. You go there, they make you feel like royalty. You go to the restroom, they come back, your towels folded. They're very, they fill your water. They just treat you like royalty the time that you're there. Very expensive. You probably spend $250, be great, right? But you love the experience that you go there, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I could go to Boa, right, where the food is exactly the same, but it's way more casual. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to give you that type of attention that you would get like at Mastros, right?
Yeah.
Well, I consider the Lakers like Mastros, where Mastros, they were a type of organization that was just a standard above everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
They operated a certain way. They had a certain standard that they lived by.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? And now I feel like Lakers are no longer Maestros. They're Boa, right? Where everybody can come, you be casual. You get your meal.
It's a good meal.
but it's a great meal. It's just, but it's just way more casual. People are hanging out. It's loud. It's not intimate. You know what I mean? And I feel like, am I wrong for saying that? I feel like LeBron kind of watered down the Lakers in their actual status, like around the league and how people look at them.
That's an interesting point. Now, because I thought the 3 years before LeBron did come here, we were already looking like as I would call them, a mom and pop organization. And the reason why I say mom and pop organization, because at the time when Jerry Buss bought the Lakers, TV deals, franchise values were not as they are right now. They were not through the roof. And there were more families, owning the
Less
the
corporate.
team, less corporations. Now we're in the waters with the Sharks now, and everyone have billionaire checkbooks. We don't have billionaire checkbooks. So people know they're going to come to Lakers. They're going to you have to sell them on the mystique. You have to sell them on the nostalgia. You have to say, where were you when Shaq and Kobe, and then where were you? Don't you want to be a part of the legacy of the Lakers? It's something that they have extra on other teams. However, how we currently ran, it feels more like you said. I think you were giving away too much credit in saying Boa. I mean, honestly, I think it's literally.
We at Sizzler now. Don't say
dude. I'm not gonna say Sizzler, but I am gonna say some kind of chain.
Like,
I ain't gonna say Applebee's,
like
but I'm at least gonna be like, I'm not gonna go there, but Ruth's Chris maybe, like something
Chris.
like that, like Fleming's maybe.
Okay, I got you.
I mean, steakhouse, you still got some little bang for your buck,
yeah.
But at the same time,
All the side orders are a la carte.
it's
one of those
They try.
yeah, I mean,
It's a red booth.
They
It's
giving
a red
you the appearance
Yeah.
of a high end establishment.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
when we're looking at the evidence of the Lakers right
you
now
pull back
and
the
where
curtain.
we're at,
Pull back the curtain. Yeah.
we're not well ran, and it is definitely mom and pop, especially if you're always going and talking to your cronies to be able to get advice on personnel decisions.
Now, I disagree that LeBron watered down. I'm more with Stat Pat that started as soon as the great Jerry Buss passed away and Jimmy Buss took over. And that didn't take long to lose the respect for this team when Jimmy Buss took over. It's like working. I'll give you an analogy. It's like working out. You can work out for a whole year and put on this muscle growth and you're happy and you're stoked. Then you get sick and you don't work out for a month and it's all gone. So a year to build it, it only takes a month to lose it. Well, it took all those years for Jerry to build it. And it only took very few years for Jimmy to destroy it. And the reason why is because there is no more Jerry to go back to.
Yeah, okay.
There is no more. So it started at that point. LeBron was supposed to be the hope to reverse that. It didn't work out that way. It did for one season. I don't know that it would have if there wasn't the bubble season. I don't know what would have happened. You don't know. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But LeBron was supposed to reverse that pattern, but unfortunately, it's
You know what though? I look. I think that what you guys are saying is true. They're very valid points. But I think in the back of everybody's mind, because with Jim Buss running and things were kind of going on, they kind of still knew what the standard was for the Lakers, right? Like they, and I feel when they got LeBron, the first 2 years were cool. They kind of had like the standard in the back of their mind, but now it's kind of like a shit show right now. I mean, to be honest with
it's
you,
not pretty. You know what?
and because here's my thing, like we're not making calculated decisions right now. You know what I mean? Like
We're reacting.
Yeah,
We're
right.
and that's what other teams always did, was react to the Lakers. But now we're reacting, and I don't like it. We're not setting the bar.
And we are like, I don't. This is what I look. What kills me about, first of all, he's playing on the court is good. It's not great, and he doesn't play smart basketball. Like going back to the Clipper game, like we're down by 1. Why are you shooting a 30-footer, dog? You know what I mean? Like we're down by 1. Like, so
that all the time.
I know he has the basketball IQ. He's just not using it, right? So so I'm looking on the court, and I don't understand what's going on the court, because it's just, we got 8 seconds left in the game, and we're shooting a 30-footer. Like, what are we doing? So but he played great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He played, got 35 points. He's averaging. His numbers are great, but the in the game situations, I can't.
And those are game changing situations, by the way. Those are momentum killers, because they a lot of times they're 6-point swings instead of gaining that 3. You lose a 3 and it's a 6 point. Because whenever he takes that shot, the other team goes down and scores, because you're not in defensive position.
Yeah, and then you look on the back end, like this dude literally is giving props to other GMs and other owners.
Really gnarly. It is. It's not a good look, LeBron. And then, I mean, now they got this big old beef between Clutch Sports and the Lakers. And now, I mean, and he's trying to act like it's not him, doing this. Like, what do you mean? Like, we would not have gotten Westbrook if you didn't ask for Westbrook. Mm-hmm. You asked for these certain moves to happen, and then you praising Pelinka for making these moves, and then you're mad that he didn't trade him for Wall.
Then you're mad
that he didn't get rid of him.
Like, literally, like, so he's like, look, man, if we get to him, we ain't gonna be able to make no moves, either because we're literally taking our whole roster and getting it to a point where nobody wants.
Now, you know what, Money?
Yeah.
There's another team in LA that's making some moves, you guys. And if you've been paying any attention, there's another professional basketball team in Los Angeles that is not the Clippers. Excuse me. That is the Sparks. The Sparks have made moves. They signed a huge free agent in Liz Cambage. And our boy Fredo Cervantes was there at the press conference. So let's go ahead and throw it to Fredo and see what that was like. Fredo, you got it.
Hey, thanks, Jeff. It's myself, Fredo Cervantes, guys, here with Infinity TV live at the Crypto Arena here in Los Angeles for the live press conference for the LA Sparks. Liz Cambage, she is now a Los Angeles Sparks, guys. So there is a lot of great excitement here in Los Angeles after the Rams won the championship. Now it seems like the LA Sparks might be bringing one of their own as well. We're going to go ahead and get into this live press conference right now.
Thank you to my teammates, my new coach, my new staff here at Crypto, and thank you to the fans and the media for coming out today. It's been a dream of mine to live in LA, to play in LA, and wear the purple and the yellow, or the purple and the gold. Sorry, I'm emotional. I said I wanted to be in LA, and I know it's taken 11 years, and I'm finally here, and I'm so grateful. But it's been a journey, and I'm so excited that I'm finally here. There's so much talent. You know, Coach Fish, he really put in the work on getting me here this season and bringing in more talent as well. I think this is going to be a super exciting season. The energy here in LA at the moment, you know, sport is up here, and it's an honor that I get to be a part of it now as well. Thank you.
And yes, guys, we're back here. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, here with Infinity TV. We just got a chance to see what Liz Cambage is all about now that she's here in Los Angeles, guys. Not Los Angeles, but Los Angeles here, guys. And she did mention a few things here, as you guys all got a chance to witness. You know, when I did get a chance to ask her whether how much pressure is she going to have her and the LA Sparks all put together to bring a championship to Los Angeles. And she said, hey, it's not about the pressure, but it's all about the repetitions, how she can get along with her teammates. Of course, this season for the LA Sparks is going to be one for the books, as Derek Fisher got maybe a little more pressure than Liz Cambage does. But we're going to go ahead and get a chance to look at all of that this season here for the LA Sparks, guys. This is Fredo Cervantes with Infinity TV. Back to you, Jeff.
Handled. Wow.
Can I comment on that?
No. Yes, of course.
So look, first of all, let me just say congratulations to the Sparks.
Absolutely.
Liz Cambridge, you know, I've been watching her for many reasons. She's a great basketball
beautiful.
player. You know, and we'll just say
very good basketball player.
But look, you know what? You know, because this is the LeBron show. I think the main reason why Liz came here to LA is the same reason why LeBron came to LA, for opportunity in the media versus out here to play basketball. Like, you know, sorry, I'm not trying to do no shade on her, but look, literally, I think she could average 30 points a game. She's like 6'8". You know, she laughs when people are trying to guard her. But we also know that, you know, she's very beautiful, and they don't have the Sparks. Don't have, you know, the top players don't get paid millions of dollars.
No, see, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
So I don't blame her at all.
No, okay, but what I'm just saying though, what
is what it is.
Why are you? My only question is, are you coming here to play basketball to try to give the Sparks a championship, or are you coming here because you saw Chingy, you know, come over here, get hurt? And then, and no shade against nobody. I'm just saying, Chingy was here, she got hurt. You know, she was like rookie of the year, baller, whatever. And as soon as she got hurt, she went on ESPN.
Yep.
And she owned ESPN.
Plug and play.
And she, you know, so we think Liz Cambridge ain't trying to get on ESPN.
I mean, you know what it is.
No, wait a minute. Wait, Candace Parker, who did she used to play for? Where's she at? TNT. I mean, come on, man. Like,
I mean, but that's
smart.
But see, at the same time, like,
I'm not no shade though.
No, it's no shade. At the same time, and like you said, we need to make sure that we're setting ourselves up for the future. But at the same time, this is what the Los Angeles franchises, I would put them both together.
Yes.
Gives you, you know, it's
location.
A part of the package.
Absolutely.
You can't think a person that's going to be that kind of gravitational figure, the way Liz is, to come to a situation where we're thirsting for somebody to take us to that next level, get us to that next level, and not reap all the benefits that are going to come with it. The weird Ford, you know, the Southern California Ford dealership commercials.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we're doing all that local stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're doing all that stuff. She got to get that. And of course, she's pretty enough that if she does well on this, she's definitely going to be on TV.
Oh, yeah.
And she's, you know, and that's what we give them. I can't be
mad
at her.
But Pat, you're the best man for this question. When Phil Jackson came here and saw Shaq, what did he tell Shaq to do?
Lose some weight.
And what do you tell him to do in the stop making Kazam.
You got to focus.
Stop making Shaq food.
But she haven't even done it yet.
No, but I'm just saying.
She hasn't done that yet.
And
she's already won
I'm just saying.
But you know what?
You know, she's won before.
It's apples and oranges, guys, because Shaq was already financially sound for the rest of his life. In the WNBA, it just isn't that way. And if the WNBA wants to change that, then that's up to them. But until they do, these players have to think about their futures, because the WNBA certainly isn't.
Look, I am not mad at any of
so
that.
I'm just happy that we have that extra draw.
No, Absolutely. I think it's completely dope. When I saw Liz Cambridge,
Oh, it's gonna be on.
you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna go to a game. I'm gonna
Her,
definitely
nigga?
go to.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Gonna go
more.
watch that.
Well, I think I went to one game. I may probably go 1 or 2 more games because I
Google
love her game. Her game was amazing. But I think that listen, this is what I feel about Liz Cambridge, and I'll say it. I said if Shaq would have had Kobe's work ethic, he would have had 4 or 5 MVPs.
I mean, if we ever gonna say that, then
if everybody had Kobe,
if Shaq has Kobe work ethic, Shaq is the greatest player of
all time, right? So that's all I'm saying. So I just want her to come and be one of the greatest Sparks of all time. And that's a high list though, because we got Lisa.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
We got Lisa and Candace. That's the topic of already the two faces on our Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, so here's my question. Like, is she going to be at that level?
She better bring it.
She has potential to be Lisa.
Well, she does. I mean, but see, and just like the Lakers, the Sparks also have that kind of legacy of big women, to kind of like you said,
following the line.
Following the line.
Yeah.
You talking about the best big woman who ever graced the sport of the NBA. WNBA. I'm not gonna say women's basketball because we know that's Cheryl Miller. But Lisa Leslie, when we talk about the WNBA, she is considered the GOAT. You know, especially when she comes to a woman that is skilled.
No question.
She can fit into that mold, like you said. And I think she's going to do that. I mean, and she's gonna for a nice 1-2 punch, man.
All I'm saying is to that point is, Candace was a spark, she's fine. Lisa was a spark, she's fine.
And expect the same.
Now let me ask you this, you guys. Liz kind of compared herself to a Shaq, and I don't know that you all agree with that, but she kind of compared herself to a Shaq.
She's 6'8", dude.
Derek played with a Shaq. He knows how to play ball with that big and play inside out. Do you think that Derek will get a little better on his coach?
Derek should, because listen, he got Tia Cooper, so Tia is Derek and Liz is Shaq.
So he should be able to coach that through. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, just play how they play.
And then
inside
you got a Gumake.
Yeah, you still got a McKay over there.
Yeah, you still got that.
And so McKay is at the point where, in her career where she knows
to take over.
She basically could be the Lamar Odom. You know what I mean? In this,
she's the damn Swiss Army knife.
Yeah,
that they need.
Right.
To be able to do all the stuff like you said, you got the nice two woman game, and then you have Nika come in there to be able to do all the other stuff, and she's definitely a great Swiss Army knife. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. As far as it's gonna be, you guys haven't watched any women's basketball.
It's time. Yeah,
it might be the time y'all start watching because,
and we're gonna keep you up to date too, because we're gonna constantly be checking in with Fredo. So
this is what I will say about the WNBA. If you want to see fundamental basketball, I would say the athleticism is not there, and people don't watch it because of it's not a lot of slam dunks, things like that. But if you want to see fundamental basketball being played, that's the WNBA hands down.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're teaching,
if
you're teaching, you want to run video for the WNBA.
You want to run
any day. Otherwise, you end up with a bunch of Steph Curry's trying to shoot half court 3-pointers. That's what it is.
Which it don't work.
It just doesn't work, guys. Yeah. Okay, so the Sparks are in good hands. Of course, we talked a little bit about the Lakers. We're going to go back to that. But let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the league and things. As we saw, we talked about Durant. Durant's still out, but he's on his way back. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah, Durant's on his way back. And it's going to be really interesting, man, because I've been watching Philly, and, they got Harden at a +10 right now, and Embiid is loving. Like Embiid is, Harden is putting that ball places where people with not Embiid talent could be successful.
Yeah, he's setting people up even. Yeah, so with Embiid, he can even take it further. Sure.
So you know what I mean? Like he's just making it super duper easy.
I saw a great stat. I saw that it said Ben Simmons entire time with the 76ers, like 5 3-pointers, made 1. First game. 5 3-pointers, made 5 for Harden. He already hit him. Well, that's a given, but it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, and that's what I was last week when we were talking on the show about who won the trade, and we kind of like had our opinions. And I stated, I really love that 2-man game, getting it back to just having 2 men take the brunt of all the burden of everything, and then you have your guys that can come in and pitch in. You have a lot of this new trying to get a big three and a big four and all that stuff. Let's get back to creating
Just
teams.
some basics.
Let's fill in these blanks and let's and hit them with the 1-2 punch. And I think that's going to be if Harden can just be that guy. I mean, and the thing is, when you have a person that's receptive, and wants you there, then chemistry issues and all that stuff and getting acclimated and coming over to the side it's going to be shortened versus there's already apprehension going to the Nets
no
when
question.
he was coming in. Yeah, then they can see the talent. They would be a fool not to see the talent will be able to mesh. But personality wise, how is that going to work out?
Though.
You know what I'm saying? And so now Ben Simmons coming into a situation where he knows he can't ruffle feathers. You already have been a problem child. Your mission, if you choose to accept it now, is to change perception. You have to come in there and go get on. You can't be ran out of another franchise because
if he's run out of it's over.
Yeah, because your feelings are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But look, in all honesty, man, like even when you look at that breakdown with Harden being over there on the Nets, I feel Harden, because Harden was the one that was hurt the least. You got Kyrie that don't
put in the minutes.
That's he's anti-vax, so now he don't want to play, or he wanted to play on the offseason, or they let him come play like in away games, like halfway through the season. You got KD, who got hurt, and then now you got Harden over there playing every day and getting blamed, accused of everything, and he's the one that's been the most consistent there. You know what I mean? And then, but KD not really rocking with Harden. And saying don't say nothing to Kyrie. I would feel certain kind of way too if I'm out there, doing this type of thing. So
see, and will that rear its head in playoff time? That's the type of stuff that affects that team chemistry when you really need it, because you don't need it when you're winning. You need it when you're in a struggle, and those are the type of things that affect that right there. Is just treating one person with certain rules and the others without, especially when your top player is promoting that. Like you said for Kyrie, it doesn't look great. So it's two players. It's Kyrie and Durant, and then them.
Yeah, so
that's what it's like. When you go into war with each other, it's them and us.
And then, if you are Harden and you're looking at the situation, and you're thinking, I'm on par with these cats. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a former MVP myself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like I'm chopped liver here. I'm still balling at a high level. And trying my best to keep this team afloat, but I'm getting blamed for it. I need to go somewhere I'm appreciated. When I think Philadelphia,
I need to go somewhere where Daryl Morey will appreciate me.
Oh, well, then that's his boy, right? And just kind of like, when they had, the only thing I was saying, like, they should have kept Jimmy Butler. And I think, and I know we all talk about the egos and all the other stuff meshing together too as well, but
what a team if they had that.
I mean, it's just the fact that we're talking about a player that embodies the personality of the city of Philadelphia, and that's Jimmy Butler. Embiid is that reason why they love him, because he's such a rugged destroyer,
Blue
like
collar.
a baller, but not in a more of a skilled way, but more of a like in your face, menacing, like I'm gritty, I'm ready to get dirty for you. You know what I'm saying? That kind of way. They respect that in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, but you have to understand, like Jimmy, and everybody thought Jimmy was a problem.
Until he went to Miami.
Well, yeah,
because he went team to team.
What happened was with Jimmy Butler, he required a certain level of play from other players.
Yep.
And people and the players didn't want to conform to that, and everybody thought he was crazy. But when he went over to Miami, he
shut them all up.
Why? Because Pat Riley, this is how Pat Riley does.
Right.
Pat Riley does a certain way, so he runs it. So the culture was already there, and it wasn't something that Jimmy had to build. He just had to be. He was like, "Oh, you mean to tell me y'all running shit like this? Oh well, shoot, I'm at home," because now he don't have to be that guy that's gonna require certain things because it's already
he doesn't have to be the bad guy.
Right. It's already
exactly.
The culture is already, like you said, the culture is already there. And it's like, if anybody going to be mad at him, you like go right at the Pat.
Yeah.
Like when I say go to Pat.
Hey, because he's
old school.
I still remember the Lakers that swept everybody, and then he had them doing 2 a days. You know,
I still can't stand Pat Rutherford.
Man, he had to do it 2 a days. He said, you know what, y'all resting too much. Y'all gotta do 2 a days. You know,
and Byron Scott took his lessons right from Riley and completely fried his players in training camp.
Because I mean, and completely forgetting that he missed the whole finals for a hamstring that his coach, his guy, his mentor, basically put him through, situations like that. Yeah, but anyway, I think, like you said, Mike, going back to what you were talking about, the matchups in the East, the top 1 through 4 is going to be interesting. I mean, I really believe can't still sleep on Milwaukee, especially when the games go slow, and he's still going to be busting you up for 35, 17 rebounds, 3 blocks. These are numbers that are going to stay consistent. And if Middleton picks up his little slack, they're still going to be a hard team to beat.
Yeah, well, I definitely think the championship is going to East. I mean, because there's nobody over here in the West that I don't think Phoenix is going to make it again. I don't even know who's going to even come out the
Well, Phoenix is Phoenix and Golden State are the 2 favorites.
Yeah,
I just saw Golden State lose to Dallas, and I just saw Phoenix is dealing with the Chris Paul
CP3 thumb.
So,
but CP3 will be back probably by the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? He doesn't need.
Plus, Payne is good,
and plus he's staying in shape because it's a thumb. It's not. He can run. He can do all that stuff, so he can keep his wind up. And I mean, the guy's a master at what he does. He doesn't need to get loose or lose rust. He can handle the ball better. He could lose skills, be as rusty as can be, and still be better than anyone else on the court. So that's not a problem. Who else scares you out there, you guys? Who else scares you? We talked about the Suns and the Warriors in the West. Is that it? Is that the only parties in the West?
What's what player that everybody's overlooking is Ja.
No, they're not.
No, they're not anymore.
They're not overlooking him.
Well, but we didn't mention his team. Like what?
We about to get to it. Yeah, we about to talk. But he gave another. He gave another scenario. He asked what other teams that you feel that, and I was going to say the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
because of that.
Yeah,
and one thing I like about Ja, and you probably were going to say this. I don't want to take your point, Mike, but when you see Ja reminds you like this guy could have played in any era. Like this dude, because he has something that a lot of these cats don't have. Like he don't give a damn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He plays with his heart on his sleeve. He plays hard and he's not scared. That's the number one point. He's not scared of the moment. He really wants to be that guy for Memphis. See, a lot of Lillard is always talking about like I'm not gonna run from the grind, but you had when you had McCullough and Aldridge, your franchise let you down, bro.
Right.
That was the beginning of the end for y'all when they took that piece of puzzle and then made you do it with just a backcourt and some change, some spare parts. The grind kind of like betrayed you. Same thing in the situation there. I just think that they got some dogs on that team and they're willing to play some defense. They're willing to go to brick wall for this guy, and he's just getting started, man. So I'm really excited to see him in the playoffs.
Look, quiet as Cap. I just can't wait for him to be the face of the NBA. Let's go ahead and just push LeBron out the way. Huh? Well, let's push LeBron out the way.
He would have already been out of the way if Zion didn't eat so much. They wanted Zion to be the man.
Yeah, but they
totally wanted Zion to be a man.
It should have been Ja.
It should have been Ja the whole time.
Yeah, it should have been Ja that we get.
But I don't know if you guys remember how small Ja was when he came out of out of college.
Skinny.
He was small.
Yeah,
he grew into this. This is not Ja in college.
He was rookie of the year.
Yeah, I know that, but he was still small. Ja is grown, man. You seen this guy? This dude got some guns on him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He's ready for the physical portion of the playoffs. You can tell he's really literally physically built for it. But when he was drafting, you saw this specimen of Zion dunking, killing everybody, and Cameron Indoor Arena is going
Yep,
crazy.
Yep.
Adding some extras on it versus my man doing it at a smaller school, but he got all the skills in the world. But you know how that goes, man. Sometimes you get the number one pick, and that third or that second pick, man, be the one that's really the best player of the draft.
Money Mike.
Yeah.
Would the Lakers have been patient enough to wait for Ja to mature?
No, that's not what we do, especially when we got a little
What do you think,
freaking.
Stat?
No, dude,
no,
we
right?
don't do that, man.
Look.
We're looking at him and hoping his
Just-
value increases. So we're looking at him like, oh, that's 2 first rounders,
Right,
there.
like that.
Oh, that's a
that's
3 rounder. He's a 3 first rounder right there. Because when we trade him, boy, with him, and had him and to package him,
how
we
crazy.
gonna-
But how crazy is that? Like, why does the Lakers have that mentality that it's almost like you don't want to be good for the Lakers because you're gonna get traded?
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're
Like
right.
THT
Yeah.
is out there balling. Oh my God, great! Now let's trade him for some. Like, dude, why don't we want to develop these young players?
It's so true. The
You
better
know-
you
Yeah,
are,
it's so
the
funny, like
more
you said
likely
that.
you're out the door.
Yeah, like we're like, why? I don't even want to play good. I just want to. I'm gonna play good at practice, and not because
I'd rather be on the bench with Bazemore.
Man,
He'll
for
stay on the
real.
team. It's not-
At least you'd be, but
it just doesn't make any sense. Like even the whole thing, like we going to make a trade. What trade would have made this team better?
Wall does not make the team better.
Oh no,
Huh?
no, we're
Wall
no-
does not make this team better.
no,
Well,
no,
right.
no.
That's exactly my point. What
Wall is Marsh, and I think Wall may be, if we're talking about just a lateral move, just.
Oh, yeah.
But we would have got
just-
rid of everybody.
and you would have got rid of the first round
Right. We've
pick.
been even more in a hole.
Right.
Like, what are we
More in
talking
the
about
hole.
here?
That
Why
would've
is it
been
even up for
ridiculous.
discussion?
It's not.
Well,
It's not. And you know what? The Lakers, Rob didn't pull the trigger on that. I don't even think he came close to that. So that's a good thing. And LeBron doesn't care because if LeBron wants the players for now, he's not concerned about 5 years from now.
Look,
He ain't going to be here 5 years from now.
Right.
He could care less.
Oh yeah, well yeah, but that's another thing. This dude talking about whoever draft my team. Now you know it's bad when Cleveland say, "No, we don't want you, dog." You know what I mean? And they literally have said that we're not ever trying to go through that again. We know what we got.
Yeah, we're going to move.
You know,
on
we're not
from
going to
LeBron.
draft like it's almost like, hey, you guys want LeBron to pay for the team? Let's draft his son. It don't matter if he's good or not. You know what I mean? He could be Dwayne Wade's son.
But you'll get.
He could be Zaire Wade. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But if y'all
I'm
draft him,
hearing on the real, dude. I've heard somewhere now. I gotta check this, dude. But I heard as currently constructed right now, they saying he's a second round pick, dog.
I was going to say if he doesn't come out and he's not LaMelo,
Okay, and I'm just being honest with you. So we're gonna look at his high school career. We're gonna see where he's at. Now, of course, what he's gonna do, he might go to the elite.
yeah.
You know, he might go there.
he'll go. Team
Because
Inc.
I doubt that he's going to go to a college because honestly, if he does go to a big time conference like the ACC or the SEC
Yeah, they're going. Yeah.
He's-
or the Big Ten, they're going to expose him.
Yeah, exactly. He
And
has
so-
nothing to gain, everything to lose.
So it's basically I need to go to a situation where I'm
Set
going
me
to be
up.
protected. My brand is going to be protected.
Exactly.
But at the same time, everybody's drafting me on potential and not a lot of a large
Well,
body of work.
So look, me being selfish, you know, I love for him to go to the South Bay Lakers. That way we can see what he really
Yeah, and then but what would happen then?
do.
That means that he's on the Lakers, and that means he's keeping LeBron here. Do you want that? Steve?
An
See,
even
that's what I'm
older
saying.
LeBron.
No,
So,
now,
bro,
and now it's a
well,
LeBron who's not playing for your team.
No,
He's only playing because he wants to play with his son. He's made that clear.
but no,
Whatever
but he-
team it's at, they
but-
care less about your city,
Yeah.
care less
no,
about the team. He just wants to play with his son.
no. Based on the rule, right? Based on the rule, you know, if he doesn't go to college, he could go to a G League, but then he still has to enter into the draft. So we get the best of both worlds. He could come here, get exposed, not be good enough, and then he had to enter the draft and be a second round draft pick. And we be like, see, blind, we told you that your player ain't good. You know, I mean, why is okay? No shade, but 100% of it. Why is Zaire over there playing for Utah?
Only reason because dad's
Only because his dad is the owner,
Yeah. Mhm.
right? What we could literally have the same type
Nepotism.
of scenario, but he's supposed to. But hey, you saw him play at that game. Is he? You know, he's about to enter the draft.
Well, my wife was like, my wife doesn't watch a lot of basketball, so
Right.
we went to the game, and so we saw the the South Bay Lakers play. I think whatever the Utah affiliate is.
Yeah.
And after about 2-3 quarters, she kind of leaned over because I was like, there's Dwayne Wade's Gabrielle Union. She was starstruck. That was all good. But she finally like, well, we here to see his son play ball. He ain't that really good. That good. Right? And I'm thinking like, damn. I'm like, your untrained eye.
Can tell that's scary.
Kind of like says that
Scary.
he's not the man on his team, right? I'm like, no, he's not.
Okay, cool. But I get when she see McClung.
Oh, McClung is the dude. And he has you could tell that he has.
See Mason, right? She see Mason playing.
Yes.
See, untrained eye.
Yeah.
She see.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure that she was able.
She was like, yo, this other guy I forgot who he was. Basically, was starting. He's starting over Zaire, So anyway, I mean, look, man, it's kind of hard, man. As Michael Jordan's son, at least Michael Jordan's son didn't even get to go to a college to play ball.
Now, I will say that LeBron is a better father than Michael Jordan. Well, Michael Jordan told his sons, "You will never be as good as me," right?
Well, yeah. Also, LeBron wants to stay home.
Yeah, so
I mean, Michael never want to stay home.
I don't know. Let me ask you this. Okay, LeBron is quoted as saying he regrets giving Bronny his name. That he wishes he didn't give him the junior name because he could have made his own way and not lived in the shadow more than he already is. What kind of pressure has he put on his boy to say, I want to play with my boy? That's already saying, oh, you're making it to the NBA.
You got to.
You're in high school right now. You're not going to change your path.
Well, it's not pressure on him. It's not pressure on Bronny.
Of course it is.
No,
his dad expects him to make it all the way to the NBA.
Dog, listen, the NBA team is going to draft Bronny, whether he good or not, to get LeBron. Then they can drop him down to the G League.
You know what?
Yeah, I just think that I know what you're saying.
That is pressure.
There's no pressure on.
Oh man,
Bronny. Dude, it's any. Okay.
Yeah, I think he has a full. I think he has to listen.
This goes for any sport. This isn't just about basketball. Do you know if Serena Williams' daughter decides that she wants to play tennis, just thinking about it, and she is going to follow the GOAT, you can't be better than the GOAT. There's so many people that played the sport that was not the GOAT. There's only one GOAT. So your mom's the GOAT. How do you even fit in those shoes? You can't. Same thing with Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Same thing with his sons. That thing with Bronny. Like Shaquille O'Neal, Sharif, he ain't doing nothing. You feel me? Like there's so much pressure on it. Only people you can see like
EJ.
Basically is like King Griffey Jr.
He said EJ.
Like King Griffey Jr.
He said EJ.
It's true.
Yeah. EJ. Oh wow, yeah.
No.
he took a whole different spot. But he balling though.
He very
He
clearly.
balling. He got his own thing.
He's got a show.
Yeah, he very clearly but not talking about them balls.
Oh, man. All right. Well, with that, if you watch the show, which I know you do, you either watch your show or listen every single week on Sundays at 8:30 p.m., you know that we finish this show with a segment we call Money Mike's Out of Bounds. Money Mike's going to share his thoughts or opinions on a topic, and he just wants to know if he's in bounds or out of bounds. Money Mike,
man,
you've got the mic.
Look, I know I said this every week, but this is like one of the easiest ones. So I don't know if you guys know, because I barely know, but I've been watching the news about it. And apparently there's a strike. There's a baseball strike.
Yes.
And oh my God, if they don't agree by Monday, then the season ain't gonna start on time. And my other bounds, I'm saying I don't care at all. I give zero care about if the baseball starts their season on time. If this was football, if this was basketball, I would be like, oh no, y'all need to figure something out. And my other bounds would say, I don't care at all if baseball starts this season on time or not.
Yeah, you're out of bounds. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because the Dodgers literally leads the MLB in attendance every year. So it's a big deal out here. So if it's not starting on time, there's a lot of people that are affected in LA, the people that are close to, you don't even know, but people in LA that really care about the Dodgers, yes, that's going to affect them. And honestly, I got a couple of friends that are Dodger fans. So they're you know, they're
watching
looking at it and watching that. They're kind of like worried about it because one thing you can say about the baseball versus all other sports, that isn't a family. That's a family
Generational
event, and it's a
No question.
generational. And you remember if you have a father that's in it or a mother that's in it, you know, you remember your first game, you remember your hot dog, you remember your Cracker Jack or whatever. Back in the day, Cracker Jack, they don't do that anymore. But you know what I'm saying? You remember your concessions. You remember
That's
it's
the point. The
nostalgia.
tradition.
It's the nostalgia. It's a part
Yeah,
of
there's
it.
tradition.
And you
to
want to
it.
pass that down, like you said, from generation to generation. It's hard for you to do that with basketball or football. So in that respect, I think I do care that it's starting on time. Now, do I watch 182 games? I don't do that. I mean, I can't do that. But yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Money Mike, you're out of bounds. The reason why you're out of bounds is the exact reason why you think you're in bounds. You think you're in bounds because you don't care. You're like, I don't care about baseball. That's exactly why you're out of bounds. That's exactly why it matters. Baseball is on the fringe. As far as American sports and entertainment, they are on the fringe. They've been losing viewers. They cannot afford a strike and to lose more viewers. It will hurt the sport. It will hurt the income. It will hurt the TV ratings. If there's any sport out there that can afford this the least, it's probably baseball right now. I'm not a huge baseball fan, but because of their positioning, because of where they stand currently, I think they have the most to lose money. So it does matter, and it is important. And like you said, especially in LA, the Dodgers, I might argue, are a slightly bigger team than the Lakers. The Lakers worldwide, of course, but in LA, I don't know. I think
I would say
you see Dodger gear.
I would say that was the case before Magic. Dodgers were king, obviously, because they were winning championships.
Yeah.
And they were also winning championships when Magic was winning championships.
Tommy Lasorda.
Until it got to the point where at 88, Magic is getting five championships in 8 years now.
Yep.
The Dodgers
Lakers
are not able to sustain that.
Yeah. And then they had a dry run.
Then they had a dry run, and then the Lakers get Shaq and Kobe while they're dealing with the Fox BS and the Piazza situation and all that stuff.
All of the mess. Yep.
Lakers still win the championship. So in the hearts and minds, McCourts, yeah. Hearts and minds of Angelinos, the Lakers then became the franchise of the city. That's why it was kind of cool when they won
same year
in the same year.
Yeah.
Because it brings you back to the 88. I mean, you know, we obviously got some merch if you guys want to go ahead and purchase.
Yeah, we do have the dual trophies.
We do have the Profanity Nation 88 2020 championship sweater. Make sure you get that. It's nice. But yeah. You know,
absolutely.
I mean, well, I guess look, you know, like I said, for me, I'm a Dodger fan. I guess, you know, I'm not like diehard. I go to a couple games, you know, throughout the year, but I can't watch a full baseball game unless it's the playoffs. That's just honest with me.
Well, yeah, it's so intense. But one thing about it,
and look, and they got rid of a whole lot of people too. Like Seager gone now, and
Seager's gone.
You know, like what y'all doing? Y'all just getting rid of all the.
You can't keep them all. They cost money. That's the problem. They just cost too much money. They all get good, and that's a team. That's a World Series team right there. It's a World Championship quality team, and you just how do you keep those players? Baseball is probably one of the hardest because you can have 6 positions that are drawing massive dollars,
all guaranteed
massive dollars, and then you have 6 pitchers that are and only one's playing a game. I mean, it's just talk about an expensive sport,
man. But then MLB, they love giving people $125 million
for like 10 years. They have those,
and they know that it's only going to be good for 5.
Yeah, but then they're going to trade them anyway.
Yeah,
they're
going to trade
back in.
Yeah, Mookie Betts. When you talk about these fools getting now $300 million, I mean,
it's like soccer money.
It's so crazy. It's like, I know we talk about Westbrook, and I know when we go back to Westbrook saying like he already made it basically that was his contract. Bro, when you getting $44 million a year,
he actually getting more than LeBron.
Yeah, dude, it's just you understand. I mean, some people get the lottery and they're like, "Damn, I won a lottery. I won $44 million." This fool winning that shit every year.
And has a 77 2K rating.
You break it
with a 77 2K rating, by the way.
You know what I'm saying?
But he was the top 75, don't know. He didn't make the All-Star game though.
But he made the top 75,
made top
which is
75.
like, what are we doing here? That's what I'm saying. Like that's that.
It's basically if you've heard of the name.
There's so
You're in.
many other people. Like so, I'm gonna ask.
We
you a
didn't even
question.
discuss that in today's show, the top 75.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We
We
will
gotta
get
talk
to that
about
at some
that
point
next
for
week.
sure. We'll get into the
And
top.
we'll break
75.
that down for y'all. 'Cause
Yeah, we'll break it
we
down. We'll give you our
definitely-
thoughts on that. Who was missing? Who shouldn't have been there? And so
notable
forth.
omissions and people that need to get the hell
Right.
off.
Absolutely. We'd love your thoughts on that too. Your thoughts or comments.
Yeah, let
you
us
can
know.
go ahead and send us an email or chime in on Facebook, YouTube, wherever. Go to Instagram, that's for sure. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. Leave a message for us, and we'll bring it up on the show.
Fans.
Go ahead, Money Mike, one more time.
877-311 fans.
Leave a voice message. We might play it on the show. Definitely. All right, guys. This was a great show.
Yep.
Again, in our new studio. I'm loving it. It's getting better each time.
Look at it,
Thank
look at
you
it, look
for
at it.
joining us this week. Thank you for joining us each week. We will be back next week. We have a big guest. We're not going to announce it yet, but a big guest in studio next week is being planned. Be sure to watch our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter feeds to get information about that. But the best way is just tune in next Sunday at 8:30 p.m., just like you did this Sunday.
Yeah, we're going to have definitely went more Laker talk next week.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely. We'll just say it's going to be Laker talk. That's for sure. So stay tuned. Stick with us. Thank you as always. On behalf of Stat Pat, Money Mike, I'm yours truly, Simsta. This is the Profanity Nation podcast. Thank you so much. We will see you next week. We out.
Peace.
Peace.